Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of the APB podcast. This episode we're going to be talking to Roland Peddie, who's the audio lead on APB, and we've had a lot of questions from the players sort of revolving around the episodes we've done recently that have looked specifically at the audio features of the game, and he's going to take a bit of time to answer some of your questions. So I guess we'll just get straight into them, shall we? So Roland, the first question comes from James, and he asks, how do you go about getting songs from iTunes into APB?
Okay, well you wouldn't use iTunes, you do it in-game. You go to the music player by pressing P and then go into the import page and you can import MP3 files from there. It has to be MP3 files at this stage, that's the only format that we're supporting for launch. So basically, once you're there, you choose a folder that you want to import songs from. That could be the root of your hard drive if you want to sit there for a while and scan your whole hard drive and find every single MP3 file on that disk. Or you can specify a more precise folder.
Okay, so the next question comes from Cyber Reaver, and he asks, can you put locks on the music that you create in the music editor so that anyone you sell it to can't edit or reuse it?
Okay, well that's actually the way it works by default. You can't actually allow someone to edit a song that you sell them on the marketplace at this stage. That is something that we would like to add to make it optional for the user, but at this stage no one will be able to even look at the music data in your song.
Yeah, you create a package, you manufacture the song as a package.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what you sell. Okay, so the next question comes from David Maxwell, and he asks, can you export your music into any of the formats?
Not currently, unfortunately, not for launch. It is something we would like to add as soon as we can afterwards, to let you post it on your social network sites.
Yeah, there's lots of weird and wacky things that we're looking to do with the music.
It's the least weird.
And of course, when the game launches, if you've got anything that you want to do with your music, then feel free to mention it to the rest of the community, because we're going to be listening to you guys on your ideas. So make sure you make them as vocal as possible.
For sure.
So the next question comes from Jacob, and he asks, is there going to be a gun customization tool in APB that allows you to add text or change the color of your weapon? I guess the quick answer to this is there's no cosmetic customization tool in APB to change weapons, but there is a functional modification system, which basically, as you progress through the game and as you reach certain rewards, you get weapon modifications that you can apply to your weapon, which might increase the clip size, the effective range of the weapon, the rate at which it reloads.
How quick you kill people.
Basically, yes. So the next question comes from Anders, and he asks, hi, I'm wondering if it's possible to turn off other people's microphones in case of mic spamming.
Okay, well, it is possible to ignore other players, so that basically turns off all kinds of communication from them, including the voice over IP, also their chat, their music. So ignore them if they suck.
The next question comes from Ross, and he asks, will you be able to use an Xbox 360 controller with APB? And I guess there's a very pertinent point to put across and reiterate to you guys sat out there, and that is...
not on an Xbox 360.
But on a PC. So you can use the Xbox 360 controller. It's not supported at launch, but it does work. There's functionality there that you can use. But what you have to remember is that Xbox 360 controller has to be plugged into a PC. If you plug it into an Xbox 360 and try and play APB, you will fail, because at launch, APB is a PC-only title. The next question comes from Tom, and he asks, do you have like a garage in which you can spawn vehicles? Do you have to pay for them? Well, you do have like a garage. There are a number of garages throughout the action districts in which you can spawn vehicles, but you can also spawn them at a number of other locations, including areas that you spawn into. When you first jump into a map of one of the action districts, you choose a location next to what we call contacts, and those contacts have parking garages underneath which you can run over to and spawn a vehicle in. Every time you spawn a new vehicle, one of your own equipped player vehicles, you do have to pay an amount of in-game currency to purchase it, but it's a small amount, and it varies on which vehicle you have spawned at the time. So the next question comes from Matthew, and he asks, hey APB, well it's not really a question, but that's how he started it. Hey APB, I've been watching the podcasts, and I'd like to know if you can add lyrics or vocals to the music you create in the music studio.
So that is a really interesting question, because we've been trying to figure out how to do just that. We really want to let players add add vocals to their music studio creations. Makes the track a lot more accessible, but it's a tricky technical problem to solve because we have to send all this data around the network, so it has to stay small. One way we could do it is maybe samples or something like that, but that's a tricky one too. So we'll keep thinking and let us know if you have any brilliant ideas. I did have one suggestion where you could stand at a display point in the social district and sing over VoIP, but I'm not sure if that one's going to take off.
I heard him trying it. It's not worth trying yourself. I wouldn't bother. So that about wraps it up for this episode of the APB podcast. Thanks to Roland for coming along and answering some of your questions. Hopefully we've answered some of the more pertinent questions that you guys have put to us. As ever, if you've got any questions, send them off to podcast@apb.com and we'll do our best to get them answered in upcoming Q&A episodes. The next set of episodes are going to look at some of the next features in APB, so make sure you stick around and check back to our YouTube channel. Subscribe if you have to, and we'll see you next time.
Beats bona fide. Are you searching for a single or the AOB side? Spent my life behind bars, 16 at a time. Prisoner of the rhyme, free to climb. Worldwide, beats bona fide. Are you searching for a single or the AOB side?